Hello everyone. This is my what sold video for the week of May 16th through the 21st. I sold 12 items, 11 items on Etsy and one on Poshmark. This is the item I sold on Poshmark. It is a black nylon adjustable bag strap. I got this in a thread-up box. I got a whole bunch of these in thread-up boxes over the past year or so, and I I honestly did not think they would sell, but they have been selling when I've been listing them. So this one sold for $25. That was a really good sale, and I didn't think it was going to sell. So I guess you never know. Okay, next thing that sold was on Etsy. These are my Etsy sales now. I've had this little kitten for such a long time. It is an Indiana glass, blue, green, teal, turquoise, all the keywords, cat votive candle holder. It sold for $15.19. Very pretty. I love the color on this. So most of the time I find they're clear. So this was a nice one. It did have a crack on the inside of the votive holder, which I disclosed. That might have been why it took so long to sell, but it doesn't show when it's on display. Let's see. Yeah, that's the crack that was in it there. But I don't think it did anything to take away from its beauty because it was down inside where the candle goes. And $15.19 was good. I'm happy to send that on its way finally. Next thing I sold was this Betty Crocker cookbook. I just bought this. I just listed this. So it sold very quickly for $31.99. It was from 1984. It was in pretty good condition. I bought two of these actually, so I'm going to replace my listing with the other one that I have. It did have an inscription in there, but I made sure I took a picture of that so they knew. And it was a really nice cookbook. And I always pick up these Betty Crocker cookbooks, always, every time I see them, just about, unless they're in not so good condition, then I will leave them behind. Okay, next thing that sold was a Donnie and Marie album, Make the World Go Away. It sold for $14.39 from 1975. Really good sale. The cover wasn't in the greatest condition. The record was good though, but the cover had a few issues. I think I got this in a auction of 70s record albums, and $14.39 is pretty good. Next thing I sold was this brooch. Very pretty, kind of a moonstone pin brooch with a butterfly. It sold for $16.79. I love butterflies. This was so pretty. I was tempted to keep it, but I didn't. That's the hard part of reselling. You got to move things along. It sold for $16.79, and it was just really pretty. I think I got this in a Shop Goodwill auction. Okay, next thing that sold was this music box. It was really pretty. I found this at a Goodwill recently. Put a movie of it working there. That's one of the good things about Etsy. You can put movies of your item if it has working parts. And I just showed all the sections. It did have the name Aubrey on it. I made sure I put that in the listing so they can either, do what they want about that. I don't think it'll come off very easily, but they could put something over it, or they could call the ballerina Aubrey. Who knows? So, but it was from 1993. It was a really beautiful jewelry box. Next thing that I sold was a Mary Engelbright tin. It was Home Sweet Home. and it had flowers on it. It was just really pretty with a cottage scene on it. Sold for $12.79. I think I just picked this up at Goodwill for a few dollars. But I like selling Mary Engelbreit stuff. She does have a following, so that was pretty good. $12.79 for that tin. Okay. Next thing that sold was this creamer. It was a blue ceramic creamer. I don't think it had a mark on it, so I don't know. I really don't know how old it was, but it looked like it could have been like from the 90s or early. Oh, it did have a mark. Let's see if I put that in there. Country Kitchen Farmhouse was the mark. So it sold for $14.39. I've had this one for a little while too. Most vintage things are going to be long tail items, so you have to have a way to store them for a while until they sell, as well as revising your your listing, so that it comes down a little bit each time it renews. That's been helping me a lot. Next thing that sold was this group of postcards. I got a whole bunch of postcards in a baggie, and it was in my death pile. I decided to list them a few at a time. These were New Orleans, and they sold for $15.99. I've sold a few sets of them, so it has been working to list them. Okay, next thing that sold was this Tasmanian Devil. He sold for $23.99. He was really cute, 17-inch. He was pretty big. I had to put him in a box. I just felt better about it that way. But he was from Six Flags, and he was in pretty good condition going to a new home. I swear I was just looking through my plush the other day and I saw this and I'm like, wonder why this hasn't sold yet. And then it sold. So I guess that is the thing you need to do once in a while. Look at your stuff and say, why haven't you sold yet? And then it does. I'll go look at everything if that's the case. Okay, next thing that sold was this wall hanging. It was a basket style decor, kind of a Southwest style, orange, white, and beige. It was 14 inches. It was pretty big. And it sold for $18.39. I've had that for a little while too. I think this is the last item. It was a Mary Kay Success Ladder brooch. I got this in a Shop Goodwill auction of brooches, and it sold for $9.59. Sometimes they don't sell for a whole lot, but if you can get a little bit for them, that's good. And, I think it was a good sale. I guess they gave these out to people who sold Mary Kay, who reached a certain level of success. I don't know. But it had a blue rhinestone in it. It was pretty cute. So that is it. That's what I sold this week. I hear the guy with the blower out there approaching my door, so I better cut this short. Pretty good week. I'm very happy with it. The haul is next. If you see anything you're interested in, it'll be listed up on Etsy or Poshmark. My links are in the details if you want to look at my stores. And stay right there. I'll be right back with the haul. Hey everybody, this is the thrifting portion of the video. I went out and found a few things at Goodwill I thought I would show you. Just a few things. I'm cutting back a little bit on what I'm getting, trying to move out the old stuff instead of bringing in too much new. But I'll show you what I got to list. I got a couple of books here. This is Bread and Jam for Frances. I love children's books and I cannot resist Frances. She is one of my favorites. This is a weekly reader book, but she was one of my favorites when I was a kid. This printing is 1992, so it's a reprint, but it's great. It's got the great pictures in it and just the adventures of Frances. But it is a weekly reader book. It was $1.29. I thought it was awesome. Okay, got a Richard Scarry's Best Storybook Ever. I have sold this one before, and it was $2.29. It's a nice hardcover book. It's got some great pictures in it. Very nice. So I think that'll do well. I think I have sold this before. So I always try to pick up things that I've sold before because there's a good chance they'll sell again. And trying to see, I think this is from the 90s. Ooh, scary over there. I had some newspaper stacked up and it fell over. Now Holly's all freaked out. Well, it says 1966 and 1968. So I don't know. I will have to look into it. It could be, I guess. But really nice book. And I always look them over to make sure there's no crayon marks or scribbling in them or writing. But that was a nice book, so I picked it up. I found a couple of record albums. Olivia Newton-John for $2.29. I always look them over to make sure they're not scratched up and stuff before I buy them. But that's a nice album. The album cover's in pretty good shape, and the record was in good shape too. So I went in and got that. Partridge Family for $2.29. This this one's a little worn on the cover, but the record itself looked good. There were a few Partridge Family albums there, and I had to pass on a couple of them because they were just too scratched up. But this one looked pretty good, so I went ahead and got it. And I always clean them and test them to make sure they don't skip or anything before I put them up as a listing. I've been doing pretty well with music boxes lately. I got this, it says Laugh with Friends, and it's just a little trinket box, or you could put small jewelry in there, but it does play music. It's very nice. It was $4.49. It's kind of a plastic material, but very pretty. You can see. I'll go ahead and put that up in my Etsy shop. Last thing I found, I don't even know why I got this. It's Dilbert. I've sold Dilbert cups before, but it says, "Is your job plagued by the evil demons of stupidity?" And then on the other side it says, "Out, out, you demons of stupidity." I don't know. I don't know why I got it, but I've sold Dilbert cups before. Maybe this will do well. But there's some mark on the bottom. Anyway, that's all I got this trip. I didn't get a whole lot. I'm still trying to move out older stuff. So unless it's really, really great, I'm not picking it up. Or if I know it'll do well, I'll pick it up. But that's it. That's all I got. Still found a pretty good haul, I think. So that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed the what sold video and the haul video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up
I'm still trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed yet, it would really mean a lot to me if you would subscribe. It helps my channel to grow. And comment down below. Let me know what you thought. What was your favorite item? Or just say hi. Or let me know how you're doing. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Have a great day and take care.